Now, she's become one of the youngest individual Olympic champions in history. Japan's Momiji Nishiya winning the inaugural women's skateboarding gold at the age of 13 years and 330 days. She finished ahead of the Brazilian Raisa Leal, who could have become the very youngest ever individual Olympic champion if she'd won, but still a massive achievement, of course, for Nishiya. Meanwhile, an immortal moment, that the description from Adam Peaty, as he became the first British swimmer to defend an Olympic title as he claimed gold in the 100-metre breaststroke, and now at last a win as well for the UK's Tom Daley in Olympic diving, awarded his fourth Olympic Games. We're going to talk about that in a moment with our sports editor Simon Harding, who joins us from Tokyo. First of all, Simon, tell us what some of the big hitting results are there then.
Well, you mentioned two of them that have taken the country and the Olympics by absolute storm. Let's start with the more expected of those two gold medals. Adam Peaty was expected to win the 100-metre breaststroke. The British swimmer is unbeaten in the discipline for over 7 years. He set 5 new world records every time, beating his own world record, and this time around he was the first to reach the finish and touch the board to record Team GB's first Olympic gold medal at Tokyo 2020. And importantly, as you mentioned, he becomes the first Olympic swimmer in British history to defend a title. Olympic Peaty, who is self-described his ambition as a project immortal, to set times and to complete performances that will never be able to be repeated again. He is the only man alive and in history to have swam the 100-metre breaststroke underneath 57 seconds. It wasn't the case in this Olympic race, but he has done so in the past. Adam Peaty, who will of course be competing in the 50-metre breaststroke as well, which he is largely expected to win, but the British winner seems to be untouchable in the discipline. The second big result, of course, is the skateboarding, with Japan taking a clean sweep of the gold medals in the street events. And as you mentioned, a very young winner, just 13 years old. Essentially, the podium was the youngest podium in Olympic history, with 2 13-year-olds and a 16-year-old. But it must be said that the skateboarding event has been somewhat criticised, Stuart, because people are saying that the skaters have got their AirPods in, they look disinterested, sometimes even baffled that they're competing at these Olympics, and with a lot of them falling and failing to successfully carry out their tricks, they are in for some criticism. But that's not the question. Japan and the excitement surrounding a 13-year-old winner and the winner in the men's category certainly gearing up, and they will go down in history as the first gold medal winners at a skateboard event at the Olympics.
And Simon, as promised, let's talk a bit about Tom Daley. I mean, this guy's got such an incredible history for those of our viewers who don't know about him. He's incredibly well known in the UK. But tell us a bit more about Tom Daley and what he's managed to achieve.
Well, it simply is the very first gold medal for Tom Daley and Matty Lee, his partner, in the men's 10-metre synchronised dive. As you mentioned, he is a household name in British sport. And this gold medal is not only a story of sporting success, but also of perseverance outside of the sport. Tom Daley burst onto the scene when he was just 14 years old at the Beijing Olympics in 2008. He was largely expected to win gold at the London Olympics with the pressure of the British public and press on his shoulders. He actually had to surmount another massive hurdle, and that was when his father passed away a year before those London Games. He won bronze in the individual and team events at London and at Rio, and it was expected that he would never win an Olympic gold, but age 27, he's finally managed to do that. A father now himself after the birth of his son, and massive plaudits as well to Matty Lee, who wins that gold on his very first Olympic debut.
Great to have a good success story, of course. Lots of them rolling in there from the Olympics. Simon, thanks very much, Simon Harding.